Always great catching up with my next guest, Vanessa Demopolous, back in action. She's got another home game here, UFC Fight Night, April 5th. Vanessa, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. It's great to be here. I'm super excited to be fighting again here in Las Vegas.
Yes, it must be nice. I know, because it's been, how many years now have you made the switch? I was trying to remember. It's been at least 3, I think. How long have you been in Vegas now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in Vegas for about 2 years now. So
Okay, gotcha. I got a little ahead of myself.
yeah,
But
not
yeah.
too long.
Yeah, but that's good. So, I mean, it's nice too, because you're fighting down the street, right? Basically. So, you got it. Like, is that something where, if the UFC comes to you, you're like, hey, I don't mind, fighting close to where I'm training right now, or do you prefer to do a bit more traveling? What's sort of your preference?
My preference is to fight in front of a big, giant, amazing, screaming crowd is what I really, really want. But
Yeah.
I'm super happy to fight actually in my backyard. Like I train at the Apex several times a week. I'm there almost every single day. I'm at the PI every single day. Like it's 6 minutes down the road for me. So it's really convenient to fight here at home at the Apex, but I would always prefer a screaming crowd.
For sure. They got to get you on like a T-Mobile card or something. That would be the perfect balance, because then it's a close fight, and then, to where you're training, and then also you get the crowd in there too, which is awesome. So maybe next time, we'll see. But was this kind of the right amount of time off in between your last fight and this one, or are you hoping to fight a bit sooner than that?
I just always want to fight, to be honest with
Okay.
you. Like
Yeah.
I'm constantly training, so it's like really hard for me to sit still in between fights. Like if I don't have a fight lined up, I'm always just like itching, like twiddling my thumbs, like when can I get back in there? Like please let me go back into the fight. So yeah, I'm really excited to have something lined up. Like I feel like my whole life is in order when I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, and it looked like you got a decent amount of notice for this one. When did you find out?
Yeah, no, I had so much notice for this fight, so it was perfect. As soon as the holidays were over, I stepped on the scale and I was like, "Woo!" So I was already starting to like bring my weight down, and then I got the call, and it was like, "Oh, perfect motivation."
Awesome. Well, glad it all worked out. And let's talk about your opponent. 7-fight veteran. What do you know about her? How do you feel like you match up against her here?
I know absolutely everything about her to the point where we actually used to train together back
Oh,
when
no
we
way.
both started.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a blue belt and I was a white belt, and we were both under the same GF team, grappling fight team umbrella.
Okay.
So we came from the same like jujitsu background. And like she lived in Brazil at the time, but they would always come to Ohio, where I first started fighting in Columbus, Ohio, to do like the camps for the Worlds and the Pan Ams and stuff. So we've actually trained together quite a bit, but this was so many years ago.
Mhm.
So many years ago.
Yeah. So you got, I'm assuming you didn't keep in touch or anything. It was just one of those things that happened in the past. And okay, yeah. So no real hesitation taking this fight, because you got to fight who they give you, right? So
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm really excited for this matchup.
yeah, it's going to be a good fight. And I know you kind of got the super camp going. Obviously on Instagram, you're training with like Dion Barbosa. You got all the girls kind of coming in one spot, which is awesome. How's that been? Because it seems to be working really well for you, where you're getting a lot of different looks and everyone's in one spot.
Oh my gosh, what an amazing camp that we have going on over here. It's crazy. We have so many girls. I mean, and they're all like strawweights, and everybody's in camp right now. Like, we have Jessica Del Boni, who's getting ready to fight for the title for Fury. Like you have Kenya, Rosas, and or Martinez. She's married now. And like, there's just so many of us that we all get to train together, and it's amazing. Val has been one of like my main training partners, and she actually just won like the EBI title for the 115. Like she's just an amazing grappler. Like I have Raquel Canuto, who's now in my corner, and Hanato Canuto, who are coaching me for jiu-jitsu because they're here local in Vegas. It's just such a beautiful marriage of just absolutely everybody getting to train together, and we're all pushing each other, and everybody's in camp, and the energy is really high. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful right now.
Is it to the point now where you have women like reaching out to you being like, can I be a part of this? Because it seems like something that is very much like a good fit for everyone that trains there in Vegas.
Yeah, actually, I have somebody who's staying here right now who is visiting from out of town that is also a 115er, and she just wanted to come and like catch a vibe. So it's really, really cool. Like, I think people are starting to notice that this is like something good. And like, none of us have egos. Like, we all get along. We all love each other. We all push each other. the most beautiful thing ever. Like, I'm really just enjoying the moment that I'm in, because like moments like this don't really come around very often, right? Like
Yeah.
most of the time we're training with dudes, or like we have to like, you know, pull a 25er dude in for the fight camp or something. And like right now it's just like such an awesome crew of girls.
Good. Well, glad everything's kind of worked out. I know I'm kind of stating the obvious here, but you've obviously had more fights than your opponent, especially in the UFC. Like, how much of an advantage is that, do you think, just being, you know, fighting some of the competition you fought, even prior to in the UFC? You had a tough road even to get in.
Whew, man, my competition on the way up has been absolutely insane. So I just feel completely prepared for this, like mentally, spiritually. And then I mean, I have the resume, right? So she may be, you know, black belt world champion, and that's like really cute. But I'm also like a higher level black belt myself. So I'm not really threatened, but I do obviously have to respect the fact that she is a UFC fighter. She did make her way here, and she is stepping into that cage against me. So kudos to her.
You mentioned all the people that you get to work with. What about your corner? What's that going to look like for this fight?
We have Alex Perez right now
Awesome.
in my corner. Yes,
Yeah.
I love Alex. He's been helping me so much with, I mean, absolutely everything. And then we have Mateus Nakash, who is always in my corner since I've moved here to Vegas.
That's right. Yeah.
And we also have Raquel Canuto.
Yeah. How good of a coach is Alex? Because I know obviously he's still an active fighter, but I just hear so many fighters working with him, especially for his corner advice. Like, I know he's been used a lot of time from different fighters.
Yeah, he's actually really amazing. You know, like he's always like checking in with me, making sure like how am I feeling? How's my weight doing? He'll hit me up. He'll be like, make sure that you rest. So like make sure that you relax. And then I'll get the text like, where are you? You're 5 minutes late. Like because
Good.
I'm historically late to everything. He's an awesome coach, you know, and
Good.
I've really enjoyed having his guidance this camp.
By the way, I don't think you've ever been late for one of our interviews, so I do have to give you credit for that. You mentioned you're late to training, but I'm trying to even think, I don't think you ever have been. There's a few that I interview, and it's, you know, it can be a little bit late, but you're always on time, so I got to give you credit for that.
Thank you. Thank you. At least I'm on time to something, because
Yeah.
I'm historically late to training. Like, listen, you can count on me. Like, if they were like, oh, if you're going to put like $20,000 on somebody to be late, it's me. I'm the one. I'm going to be late, like at least 2 to 5 minutes. But that to me, it's like I'm consistent, you know, like I'm there. I was just 2 to 5 minutes late.
How's this fight playing out on April 5th? How do you see it unfolding?
Oh, come on, dude. My hand's getting raised. What are we talking about here?
Well,
You
for
know what
sure,
I'm
but
saying?
how do you see it playing out? Otherwise, I mean, why even sign the contract? You don't think you're going to win, for sure. But, you know.
I'm fucking her up. That's how this shit's playing
There we
out.
go. That's what, yeah.
Yeah. We're going in there. We're having a fist fight. That's what's happening. This is an MMA fight. This ain't no grappling match, you know, and I know that's what she wants to turn this into, and that's freaking cute, but I'm going to punch you in the face, and that's what's going on.
There we go. There we go. You mentioned it there, you know, keeping active, I guess, you know, see how this goes and then try and get a couple. Cause I imagine too, like, I know it didn't happen for this fight, but the fact you are based in Vegas, that's got to lead you to a lot more opportunities. I would think, just if they need someone or something short notice. Did you find that being in Vegas has been a benefit in that way?
Interestingly enough, not as much as you would assume, but not from like the fight perspective and being able to jump into short notice fights, but also I'm a very large strawweight. Like it's just not feasible for me to be able to cut weight on like a 3 days notice to be able to jump into something. So unless I'm already in that mindset of I need to make sure that I'm keeping my weight down for this.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I do get a lot more different opportunities that present themselves because I happen to be here in a local fighter. And I do love that. You know, I'm very blessed with opportunities because I made the jump to living here in Vegas.
You had a couple more fights in your contract. I was trying to remember that because I remember we did an interview a while back, and I know you got the new contract. So what's the latest on your current contract status?
Man, you know what? I don't even think about that. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, that's fine.
Like,
that's why you have management. They sort of handle all that.
You know what I focus on?
Yeah.
I focus on whooping some ass.
Yeah.
And then not needing to focus on a contract, right? Like I focus on going out there and fucking winning and being aggressive and putting on a good show and knowing that they love me so much that I don't have to worry about if I'm going to get another contract or not, because the UFC's been making a lot of cuts recently.
Yeah.
And I feel really privileged to still be a UFC fighter, and I want to continue to prove to them why I am here.
We got a big women's fight coming up in a few months, actually, not your weight class, but we have the Valentina Schevchenko Manon Fiorot fight coming up on Montreal. I was curious just your thoughts on that fight, because it's an interesting test for Valentina. She'll be fighting a fellow striker this time, someone that's done quite well in the weight class in Manon Fiorot.
Yeah, Fior is massive.
Yeah.
She is so big for this weight class. So I'm like Valentina walks around, I think generally like kind of closer to the division. And we've seen her, obviously, the belt went back and forth between her and Alexa. So it's not like she's been completely so dominant now. Like we've seen her struggle in the octagon, and we've also seen her adjust and make the correct decisions. I believe that Valentina's game plan will probably be to grapple Manon, and obviously we know Manon's game plan is to outstrike Valentina, and she's so long. So I think it'll be a lot harder for Valentina to get her hands on her because, as an accredited striker, I would assume that she's worked a lot on her takedown defenses. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we see the belt change again.
Oh, really? So you think Manon can pull it off?
I believe so.
Okay, I like the honesty on that one. There's talk right now because you're a strawweight, obviously, that Weili Zhang might move up because what a win she got earlier this year against Tatiana Suarez. There's some thought of her moving up. How do you think Weili would her strength and size and all that? How would that translate at 125? Do you think? Because she looks very very good in your weight class.
She looks amazing at 115. And I think that she'll look equally amazing at 125, not because of the size. I think that, she may potentially be a little bit undersized for the 25 weight class, but there is no competition left for her at that weight class, right? Like
Yeah.
she genuinely has fought absolutely everybody. Like you see these people who are moving up and down and they're like, oh, I've done everything I can't. No, Weili truly has. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that she deserves to go up and test herself against Valentina or whoever the champion is at that time. Um, and I think she's gonna do just fine. She's so skilled. Like
Do you
that
see her
girl
winning
is
another belt?
incredibly
Like
skilled.
again, there's people that feel that because she was so dominant in that last fight that she could win another belt at 125.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
Tatiana Suarez is so strong and she's such an amazing grappler. And the way that Weili made that fight look, I don't think that she's going to have any trouble in any skill area at 125.
Well said. Well said. Got to get the assessment there from someone who's been obviously in the strawweight division for a while. So that's good to hear. Okay, let's get to some non-fighting stuff. I know we talk every now and then about traveling. Do you have any trips planned? Because I know you like going to Greece every year, it seems, or at least every couple of years. Any big travel plans after this, or is it just focused on the fights and all that?
Well, right now I'm just focused on the fight, but I have been doing a lot of commentating for jiu-jitsu, specifically for ADXC, and they have another event that's happening in Paris. I
Oh,
believe
cool.
it's the week after my fight. So, yay! I hope that I will be a part of that. So, but the way that they work over in Abu Dhabi, they're a little bit on their own time, and they work a little bit slower, and everything's kind of last minute. So, I'm still waiting. I'm just so like laser focused. But if it's not Paris, then I might make a trip over somewhere to like Australia or New Zealand because it's so beautiful over there. And I've really been wanting to go over there and like experience some of that. I just like kind of like I've been seeing things on like Iceland recently. I dream chase and I see these beautiful places all around the world. And I'm like, man, I want to go and experience that, like the
Yeah.
purity of beauty of like just being outside.
Yeah, no, and I think that's great. And I know it's tough too because you obviously want to keep active and fight, but you also have, like all of us, we want to go traveling and see different parts of the world. So I feel like you've done a good job with it though, because like usually you'll take stuff off when maybe it's like kind of like a downtime in the summer or whenever, and then you still get a couple fights a year, right? So you seem like you got a good balance on it.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't feel like I have any balance in life. I feel like my life is so extreme and
Yeah,
my balances are extreme. So,
yeah.
but I'm okay with that. But
Us.
thank you so much.
No problem. No, I think that's cool because like I love traveling as well. So it's I always admire people who take that time to like make it a priority, and it's always something you can look forward to, right? Like if you have like a trip planned or see different cultures or things. So I'm very very big on traveling. But speaking of extreme, something else you and I have in common. I saw that you cold plunge. You got a cold plunge. You had that video on your Instagram of you getting out of the car and going in the cold plunge. How long have you had that thing? And is it a daily thing or like how often do you go cold plunging?
So I cold plunge all the time and
Okay.
I love it. I love it. But I do have a cold plunge here at home right now. Thank you so much to Hydrogun. They have just taken care of me and I'm really grateful for that because to have one here in my own house, I will, and I know like this sounds nuts because most people cold plunge first thing in the morning because they say it like helps your endorphins and it helps you feel good. I cold plunge like right before I'm going to sleep at night.
Okay.
And as soon as like, I mean, I'm like freezing and stuff, but the minute I warm up, I get the deepest sleep I've ever had in my entire life. Like I sleep like a freaking rock.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like such good recovery.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
think that would
love
make
it.
sense too because it's warm in Vegas, right? So, like you probably want and you want to be cool when you sleep. It helps you sleep better. So as long as you're not
Yeah.
going too cool, like how cold are we talking? Like how low do you get yours?
Mine's at 45 right now because I don't
Okay.
want it too cold.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's
no,
cold.
that's a good level. So I cold plunge every day too. Mine's closer. I don't have a chiller. I need to make some more money and get like one of those really fancy ones. So I use like ice blocks that melt. That I freeze in my
Okay.
freezer. Like I don't buy the ice because that costs too much, but I get like you can buy those like silicone ice blocks holder things on Amazon. I put them in the freezer, put them in. It gets to just over like 45, 46 around there, and I find that that's the sweet spot because I've done 40. Like I've done it here in the winter where I live here in Canada, and it gets cold, but it's like it's a like I feel like you can get the same benefit going a little bit warmer. You know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah, it's like a
45 is
painful
just
cold.
yeah,
Like just
exactly.
those few degrees, it's like a painful like cold, and you're like, oh, is this necessary? Like,
Yeah. But no, I can understand though what you mean by doing it close to bedtime because like again, like if your body's at the right temperature, it does help sleeping. What you don't want is where it's too cold and then your body's like responding to that and it thinks it needs to be up for like hours, right? It's like freaking out, right? So
right. Yeah, and I've done that too. I've made that mistake. And I've
yeah.
noticed it's helped me so much, even like with like my weight loss too.
Okay.
So this weight cut has been one of the best weight cuts I've ever had. Like my weight is really super low. I'm so happy about it. It's like everything, the stars are aligning.
Yeah, good. And so how long have you been doing cold plunging? Is this something recent or have you been doing this for a couple of years now?
Well, we have a cold plunge at the Performance Institute.
Right.
So, and they keep that thing super, super cold. And so I've been cold plunging on and off for the last, since I've lived here, for the
Oh,
last two
okay, gotcha. So
years.
it has been a bit. Yeah, I was just wondering the more like the daily one because like obviously if you do it daily, it's more of like part of your life. So I don't know. I find that stuff super
Yeah.
interesting. Is there any
The
other like
daily that I will say I've been extremely consistent for the last like 2 months.
yeah, I've been doing it for maybe a year, 2 years, like
Oh my
consistent every
gosh.
day if I can, just because it's well, I mean, I'm not getting punched in the face. It's a little bit different for me, but no, I just like I feel like so accomplished, like, cause I'll do it like I'll work out and then I'll give it like a little bit of time because I know you don't want to do it right after you work out because kind of
Right.
defeats the whole purpose. And then I do it and I find like I'm way more awake during the day. It's good. So, and that sense of like overcoming, it's that 10 seconds before you go in, you're like, it sucks. And then once you get it done, you're good. So.
Yeah, no, it's like, but like talking yourself into actually doing it because you know it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So good job, dude. That's
Yeah.
dope.
And I have one that's
Yeah.
similar to yours where it's like that bathtub one as opposed to the barrel. I've done the barrel before. It was fine, but I like the bathtub one where you can kind of just lie down a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So it's good. Anyways, people are going to think we're doing like some sort of endorsement for cold plunging, but it's UFC Fight Night. It's coming up here April 5th. Vanessa, thanks as always for the time. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Thank you so much, Presidential here in Las Vegas. We love you so much. Iridium! Yo, my management team is the best. And yeah, just come and watch my fight. Make sure you guys are tuning in. Lil Monster Demo on Instagram. I try to be as active as I can. So I love you guys.